All right, so let's do a demo. I'm going to look at plate 1.1-RS. That's the very first thing that we drew. And for our new activity here, I need to save this as revision 1. File, save as, drawing, and I'm just going to put a -R1 on the end for revision number 1. Yeah, I'm going to put it in there. I know I've already done this once or twice or 3 times. So now I've got this, and I've checked this. I went back to my Canvas web page, and I found that I had no comments that showed this needed to be revised. So I can just get going with my new stuff. If I needed to change something and fix something, I'd have to either redraw this correctly or make some sort of change. This is where we're doing our changes. So here we go. I've got my model, and I've saved it as R1. The next thing is to select Layout tab 1 and set it up as a PDF. So here are my layouts down here. Remember, those are like a piece of paper. Click, left click on the layout, and this comes up. And now I need to set it up so it plots correctly. That's a right click on the Layout tab and find the Page Setup selection. And I'm going to modify it. I'll modify it. Layout 1, modify. So up here, this is how you can save it and things, but I'm going to just change it to be a PDF. There we go. AutoCAD PDF, general documentation. Any of these things that say PDF will work. And that's a plotter. Okay, I could choose paper, I could choose PNG, I can choose all sorts of different plots. I chose a PDF for this. And the paper size is already set up for me. This is where I would choose what size paper I was going to use. And it's set up as an A size already, which is what I want. And it's already set up to plot the layout. I can plot the layout, extents, display, window. I'm going to plot this. If it doesn't center properly, I can change the offset. My scale, paper, almost always gets plotted 1:1. That just means my piece of A-size paper should come out as a piece of A-size paper. That's all that's telling me. Okay? And then now I need to do a pen style, plot style. Plot styles help AutoCAD understand when you plot how colors should look, line weight should look, line type should look. So we want to use a standard one called ACAD, AutoCAD, CTB. So we'll just use the AutoCAD one, and we do want to display the plot styles. And then everything else is all set out right. We don't need any fancy quality or anything like that in this PDF. Maybe you will sometime. We do want to plot line weights, and we do want to plot using plot styles, and we do. This is not super important, but it gives you an order, and we can do that. So there we go. And let's preview what it's going to look like. That's what it's going to look like as of now, and so that looks okay. So click, and I can say OK. So that was step 1. Step 2, now I want this. This is called my viewport, and I want that to take up a certain amount of space. The amount depends on what your drawing should look like, but in this case, I just want you to move it up to the outside. So I click on a grip, click, then I move the mouse, and I click. There we go. And then I can just hit escape. Okay, so now my viewport, I'm seeing more around the object than I was before. Okay, and if I look at this now, I don't know how big anything is. I can't really measure it well because I don't know that it's 1 inch on my piece of paper equals 1 inch in the real world or some other normal scale. So I'm going to go to my model. I'm going to change from paper And it's over on this right-hand column, or right-hand tab. Click on the paper, and now I can actually touch it in the model. And I see it's some weird scale, 1.3, 1 to 1.3. So I'm going to change it. Just grab that little tab down there, the little arrow, and select something normal. That's something that shows up here. If I do 1 to 4, oh, that's too small for sure. 1 to 2, still kind of small. I think 1 to 1 will fit. There we go. 1 to 1 fits. Okay, and now when it comes out on my piece of paper, my A size, 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, every line will be 1 inch as I measure it on the piece of paper, will be the same as 1 inch in the real world on the object. So once I've got that right, I'm going to lock it. Lock. There's a little lock down there. There it goes. Now it's locked. That way when I zoom in and out, I don't change my scale. Okay, so there we go. I got that one done. And now I'm going to add the dimensions. The dimensions that I'm going to ask for on this one, if I were to go to the plate that I give you and look at it, would be a linear dimension. Okay, so I'm going to do linear dimension. I'm going to click an endpoint, click, and click an endpoint, click, and bring it on up. And it should say 3.5000. And I'm going to go here and I'm going to do the same thing. Click and click. And then I'm going to get my cursor somewhere over here on the side, kind of in the middle there. Click, and it should come up like that. So that lets me know, okay, that you've redrawn your thing right. We're actually doing it so that I can show you something else later on. So there will be a set of 2 dimensions to add to each of the plates. There we go. And now I can save it and submit it. So remember, you can save off of the 2 little buttons up here. Here's Save As and here's Save. Or you can go to the A, click, and just do Save. There we go. And then that will submit that file. Plate 1.1 R1 will submit to Canvas. There we go. That's it. That's our demo for Activity 1.